The Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is a beneficiary of President Ruto's magnanimity. Look here, all these wrangles between President William Samoei Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua began immediately when Ruto and Raila formed a broad-based government, and that was against his deputy's will. But the dangers of President William Samoei Ruto letting his own deputy being impeached is that the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has successfully disarmed President Ruto by stripping him of the entire Murima support. And Raila knows very well that come 2027, President Ruto will be extremely unpopular than he found him. And if by any chance the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga fails to win the African Union chair position, I see a string of possibilities that he may desert President William Samoei Ruto the same way he did to the late Daniel Moi back in 2002 and vie. And that shall catch President Ruto off guard. Now imagine this, having the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga preaching anti-Ruto slogans like Ruto must go. Then on the other hand, have the truthful man injecting and spreading the gospel of Ruto must go in each and every corner of his Murima region. Then imagine a scenario of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta being in one of the two above mentioned camps preaching Ruto must go. Don't you see that President William Samoei Ruto shall have a very difficult time in securing his re-election? Let me imagine that President Ruto, by God's grace, secures a re-election come 2027. I can bet that his second term will also be a total misery, for a vast majority of the members of parliament and senators who shall have won in that election are more likely, and I repeat, are more likely going to be his current enemies, who have now been in full support of the deputy president and have been leading from the front in voting against the DP's oustering. However, after Rigathi being impeached, that has left President William Samoei Ruto very vulnerable. And why am I saying that has left President William Samoei Ruto vulnerable? It is simply because the impeachment of the DP Rigathi Gachagua has profound implications. While it may improve in matters accountability, it also sets a dangerous precedent to the presidency. For Articles 145 and 150 of the Constitution were used to justify the DP's removal, but it now leaves the presidency very vulnerable, as it lowers the threshold for removing the president and or the deputy from office. Furthermore, Gachagua's impeachment could alienate the crucial Kikuyu voting bloc, and that shall automatically be fracturing President William Samoei Ruto's base of support. And if that happens, it could shake the entire government foundation. And how is it going to shake the entire government foundation? It is simply because people like Kimani Ichung'wah, to whom is from the Mount Kenya region. I am not a prophet, but one thing that I know is that he may have a very difficult time, or it shall be next to impossible for him to secure a re-election, if at all he is going to vie. Unless President William Samoei Ruto secures a second term, then he chooses to nominate him. But as per how the ground is, I kid you not, Kimani Ichung'wah and others, to whom were leading from the front in moving the motion of impeachment against their own son, the DP Rigathi Gachagua, it shall be next to impossible for they to secure a re-election. And that is only if I am not to mention of how the ground is very hostile against these individuals. But for now, let us wait and see how new political formations and coalitions are currently going to be formed purposely for the next general election. And as I come to the penultimate part of this episode, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, you can as well consider hitting on the subscribe button. If by any chance you do have a contrary opinion to mine, you can as well feel free to drop it in the comment section, and I'll give it a right of reply. Thank you, and may God bless you.